Welcome back to In Business. We're in the studio with Charles Ruecker of Core Powered, finding out how he got started. So before we went to the break, we were talking about how an easy run it has been for you since you started all these companies. What are some of the tough things that you've been through?
Knowing how to run a business. There's the part of making the product and interacting with the customers, but then there's all the pieces of running a business and how to manage overhead, all the accounting things like profit margins and that. And I wasn't trained in any of that. So we had good products, we got good customers, but we had to learn how to actually run a business.
So what's the secret behind the way that you run your business? Because you run a virtual operation, but you've really got a lot of things going on that you need to be in touch with and in control of. Now the customers are coming to you, but you could be looking after 4 or 5 different operations when it comes to a particular product.
Right. We take the practice that we use with our customer or our products, and we bring that right in-house. So we're looking for people that we can identify their unique ability. So we have two people on staff, and their unique ability is the jobs that they're doing. So they're able to do a lot of things extremely well because we focus on making sure that they're just doing the jobs that they love to do.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would do differently, looking back over the years, anything that you would do differently?
Oh yeah, I don't think we have that much time.
Well, we got a couple minutes.
Knowing what I know now, I think I could have produced these results probably 2 or 3 years sooner. I know that in the development of the process, I missed some global curves. Like India was a low-cost, very attractive company to look at for buying and selling to, and like within the last 2 years, that's all changed. So I missed the boat there. It would have been nicer to be a little bit more mature coming into this last recession. We would have been able to take even greater advantage of the recession. So timing, everything just took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take.
Now we had a lot of discussion about going global and doing business in China and
Yeah.
India. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a good spot for Canadian manufacturers to try and go to?
I think it is. I think it's where the money is going to be made, but it has to be created in a way where there's a real partnership and a relationship created. I don't know as much about the Chinese market as the Indian market, but it's all about relationship. And the product and what you would sell in India is worth a fraction of what it is in North America. So you're not going to get rich by making product and selling in India. What you will do is you'll be able to discover market niches that Canadian manufacturing will be able to sell into out of the relationship. In other words, creating a relationship in India creates the context for doing business over in India, and then the content has a place to land.
You were mentioning that there is a certain pecking order that you need to go through in order to
Yeah.
break into that Indian market. Through all of the businesses that you've been through, and you've had a couple of rough rides, did you ever think about giving up?
In the beginning, I did, when there wasn't as much at stake and I wasn't as seasoned, I'd say for the first year and a half. After that, no, I started taking a look at what my future needed to be, 10 years out, 20 years out, and I painted a future that I just wanted to have. Mm-hmm. And this is a logical piece that fits into making that future a reality. So it motivates me to keep slugging through whatever's here, because I know this is just now. It's not forever.
So what's the thing? What goes through your head that keeps you going?
Well, a 52-foot catamaran in the Caribbean and living on it for half a year. And
you're achieving part of that goal now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've designed the whole business to fulfill on future dreams, and that includes everybody that's involved in the business. Part of that is we're doing a retreat this year, like a business planning for our future retreat. That's in Barbados. That's where we want to be for part of our life.
And you're taking all of your partners on this retreat to talk about the business?
Not this year.
Oh, not this year. That's
some of them.
The future?
Some of them. In future years, yeah.
And one of those partners that's going with you, I imagine, is your lovely bride?
Of course. And one of our staff that's going is going. And it's our way of rewarding people as well. They work hard for the business and they see us celebrating in the benefit of it. They need to be part of that.
Well, that's a nice business model to be able to build, where you can operate your business for 6 months completely remotely, and certainly that's the great model that you built. We've got about just under a minute to go. What advice do you have for the entrepreneurs that are watching the show?
Pick a market and don't deviate. Just stay with it. Nothing is static. It keeps moving, and you need to keep moving with it.
You have a couple of children. Anybody coming into the business?
I don't know. I don't know. They're
Would you want them in the business?
I'd love it. My advice to them is to go out and get a job and make it on their own and come into the business with something to offer.
Absolutely. That's a great piece of advice. DNA doesn't give them entitlement to the business.
Yeah,
They've got to
exactly.
be bringing something in. That's great. Thanks to my guest, Charles Ruecker, for being with us. Up next, Michael Rosenberg reviews the book, The Living Company. We'll be back right after a few words from our sponsors.